G'day guys, my name's Dave Trent and welcome to another GuitarZero2Hero song tutorial. And in this lesson, by request, I'll be teaching you how to play the solo finger-picked version of Game of Thrones. Now if you haven't seen my tutorial for the Boyce Avenue version of the Game of Thrones theme song, then be sure to check that out in the link up here. So before we start, make sure you head over to GuitarZero2Hero.com to pick up my free guitar ebook. There's a lot of great information in there about guitar chords and also songwriting. So for the basics of this finger-picked Game of Thrones theme song, you'll need your guitar in standard tuning and a guitar capo on the 3rd fret. Before we start, let's set some rules with our picking hand. Our index, middle and ring finger will be designated to the 3rd, 2nd and 1st strings. Those fingers won't play any other strings except for those designated strings. Now there's one exception to that rule in this song, but I'll explain when we get to that section. So the thumb will then take care of the 6th, 5th and 4th strings. That will float up and down to pick those bass notes. But again, your index, middle and ring should be on the 3rd, 2nd and 1st strings and should only pick those strings. Alright, so starting with the intro, what you want to do is you're going to take your index finger and put it on the 1st fret of the 2nd string, middle finger on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string. Now what you're going to do is you're going to start by hitting the 5th string and the 1st string together. And then you're going to pluck the 3rd string and then the 2nd string. But with the 2nd string, you're going to hammer on from that 1st fret to the 3rd fret with your pinky finger. So far we have. And you're going to repeat that 4 times and it'll sound like this. After you've played that 4 times, you'll take your ring finger, which is currently floating and not doing anything, and you'll put that on the 2nd fret of the 2nd string. And then you'll do the exact same thing. So you'll pluck the 5th and the 1st string together, pluck the 3rd string, and then you pluck the 2nd string and hammer on to the 3rd fret with your pinky. And you play that 4 times as well. So altogether, the intro sounds like this. And that's it for the intro. So starting with the verse, we'll start with the A minor chord shape. We're going to pluck the 5th and 1st strings together, and then we're going to roll down to the 4th string, and then the 3rd string. And then after that, we're going to pluck the 5th and the 3rd string together, and then play the 4th and 3rd string again. So that section goes. For the next bar, we'll remain on that A minor chord, and then you're going to pluck the 5th and the 2nd strings together. But at the same time you pluck that 2nd string, you're going to hammer on to the 3rd fret with your pinky finger. And then you pluck the open 1st string. After the open 1st string, you then hit the 4th string. You then hit the 5th and 3rd strings together, the 4th string, and then you hit the 2nd string and you do that hammer on again with your pinky from 1st to 3rd. So that bar sounds like this. And one more time. So in total for the A minor we have. And then our next chord is E minor. So E minor chord shape, and then we're going to start by plucking the 6th and 2nd strings together. And then we go to the 4th string, and then the 3rd string, but when we hit the 3rd string, we're going to hammer on with our pinky finger onto the 2nd fret. And it'll sound like this. You then play that 3 times, which sounds like. And for the last bit, you pluck the 6th and 2nd strings together, then you pluck the 4th and 3rd strings. No hammer on on that last note. So altogether the E minor sounds like this. Our next chord shape is then G. However, we're going to play this G in a particular way because we're going to need our fingers in certain places. So for this G, you're going to take your ring finger and put that on the 3rd fret of the 6th string, your middle finger on the 2nd fret of the 5th string, and then your pinky on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string here. And your index finger here will be ready to push down on that 1st fret of the 2nd string. So just keep that handy. To start, we pluck the 6th and the 2nd strings together. Then we play 5th, 4th, and then we play 6th and 3rd together, and then 5th and 4th again. So that bar sounds like. So for the next bar, you take your pinky finger off that 2nd string, and you're going to put the index finger on that 2nd string on the 1st fret. You're going to hit the 6th and the 2nd strings together. But when you hit that 2nd string, you're going to immediately pull off onto an open string, like that. So after you hit that and pulled off, you then take your pinky finger and go to the 3rd fret of the 2nd string, like that. After that 3rd fret of the 2nd string, you're going to pluck the 5th string, and then you go 6th and 3rd strings together, 5th and 4th again. So for that bar, there's the pull off, 3rd fret, 5th string, 6th and 3rd, 5th and 4th string. Then for our final position, we're going to start with our index finger on the 1st fret of the 2nd string, and we're going to pluck the 2nd and the 4th strings together. But at the same time, you're going to pull off that 1st fret. And then you take your index finger and you bar it on the 2nd fret for the 4th and 3rd strings. And you're going to pluck the 5th and the 3rd string together. So, like that. Immediately after that, you take your middle finger, put it on the 3rd fret of the 4th string, and then you hammer on to the 5th fret with your pinky finger. So far we have. After that, hammer on from 3rd to 5th, you hit the 5th and 3rd strings together again. Then you play the 4th string, and then with your middle finger, 3rd fret, hammer on again. So, and then you play that one more time. So a total of 2 times. So far we have. And then last little bit is 5th and 3rd together, and then 4th and 3rd strings, no hammer on. So in total that section sounds like. And that's it for the verse. So at 75% speed, the verse will sound like this. So you play that verse twice, and then you play another verse, but this verse has a variation towards the end. So for this verse variation, the first half of it is exactly the same. So the A minor bit and the E minor bit are exactly the same. The only part that changes is when you get to this G. So the first little bit of the G is the same. So 6th and 2nd strings together, 5th, 4th strings, and then 6th and 3rd together, and then 5th and 4th. This next bit is the variation. So what we do is we hit the 6th and the 2nd strings together, except you lift your pinky up. So it's an open 2nd string. So from that point, you take your ring finger and you move it down 1 string, so to 5th string on the 3rd fret, and then your index goes onto the 1st fret of the 2nd string. You hit them together, and then with your middle finger, then you put that down onto the 2nd fret of the 5th string, and you lift your index finger, you hit them 2 together, so 5th and 2nd string together. And then with your ring finger, you go back down onto the 3rd fret of the 6th string, and you hit the 6th string and the 3rd strings together. So that section sounds like this. And one more time. Our final position starts with our index finger barred on the 2nd fret for the 4th and 3rd strings. We hit the 5th and 3rd strings together, and then 4th string, and then we do the hammer on from 3rd to 5th on the 4th string. We played that 3 times. And then the last little bit is 5th and 3rd together, 4th string, and then open 3rd string. So altogether that last position sounds like this. So at 75% speed, the verse variation will sound like this. Okay, so now we get to the chorus of the song. So the chorus starts with perhaps the most difficult chord shape in the whole song. There's a lot of stretching here, but it sounds great if you can pull it off. So with your index finger, you gotta bar that on the 1st fret. You take your middle finger and you put that on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string. And then your pinky finger will go to the 5th fret of the 1st string. Now that's a fairly long reach, so try your best. Keep practicing, and that's the only way you'll get there. But it is doable because my hands aren't actually that big, but I'm still able to comfortably reach that. So with that shape, you'll start with a roll. So basically, you'll hit the 6th string, then 3rd, 2nd, and 1st, all very quickly and sequentially after one another. So like that. So it's almost like you just roll your fingers like this. Of course, you can just play it all together at the one time if you want to, but it won't sound as cool. So after that, you pluck 3rd, 2nd, and then you pluck 1st and 6th together, and then 6th, and then 3rd. So you go up and then down, basically. Roll, 3rd, 2nd, 1st and 6th together, 2nd and 3rd. Our next chord shape is a little bit easier, so it's a C chord, but with your pinky, you'll just put that on the 3rd fret of the 1st string. Again, you'll do a bit of a roll, so the roll will start with the bass note on the 5th string, and then the 3rd, 2nd, and 1st strings. Like that. So after the roll, you'll then hit 4th, 3rd, and then you'll hit 5th and 2nd together, and then back to 3rd and 4th. So for the C chord. And then we go to a D minor, and we're going to do a roll starting from 4th, 3rd, 2nd, and 1st. So nice and easy. And then we pluck 4th and 3rd strings, and then 4th and 1st together, and then 2nd and 3rd. So for the D minor. And then we go to an A minor. And with the A minor, our roll starts on the 5th string, and then the 3rd, 2nd, and 1st strings. So we do that roll, and then you pluck the 4th string, 3rd string, and then the 5th and 2nd together, and then back to the 3rd string, and then the open 6th string. So the A minor sounds like. And then we go to a normal F chord. Now before I mentioned that your fingers should be designated to particular strings. Now this is the chord where you can break that rule for just a tiny bit. So for this F chord, the first pluck is going to be on the 6th string and the 4th and 3rd strings. And for that, you can take your index and middle and move them up one string to pluck the 4th and 3rd at the same time as the 6th. So after that, you then return to normal. Then you pluck the 5th string, 4th string, and then the 6th and 2nd together, then the 3rd, and then you lift the fretting hand and you hit the open 4th. So the F chord sounds like. Our next position is A minor / D. So you take your index finger, first fret of the second string, middle finger, second fret of the third string. You're going to pluck the fourth, third, and second strings all together. And then you hit the fourth string again, and then the third string. Like that. And then our next chord is E minor 7, like this. So index and middle on the second fret, and then your pinky on the third fret of the second string. You're going to pluck the sixth, third, and second strings at the same time, and then pluck the fourth string and then the third string. So the A minor / D and the E minor 7 bit sound like this. And then our last position is, again with this index finger barred on the second fret of the third and fourth strings. Now for the first hit, you'll be plucking the fifth string and the open first string. So it's important that your index finger doesn't actually rest down on that first string or mute it. It should be lifted up, so that you're barring down on the third and fourth string, but you're not actually affecting that open first string. So that's the first hit, and then you hit the fourth string, and then do the hammer on from third fret to fifth fret. And then you go back to the normal fifth and third strings together, fourth string, and then the hammer on. And you play that twice. And then the last little bit is fifth and third together, fourth string, and then open third string. So the last position sounds like. So that's the chorus the first time round. I'm going to now play this at 75% speed. So after that chorus, you play the chorus again, but this chorus has a variation. Now the variation happens to the second half of the chorus. So the stretch chord's the same, the C's the same, the D minor, the A minor, and the F are exactly the same. The difference is where we get to the A minor / D. So you play the fourth, third, and second strings together, pluck the fourth, pluck the third, and then instead of going to an E minor 7, you just go to a normal E minor. And you pluck the sixth, third, and second strings together. And then fourth, and then third strings. So, and the last position is a little different as well. It's just your index finger barred on the second fret of the fourth and third strings. We're going to pluck the fifth and the third strings together, then hit the fourth string, and then do the hammer on from third to fifth fret. And then we're simply going to repeat that 4 times for this chorus variation. And it'll sound like. So now I'm going to play this whole chorus variation at 75% speed. So that's it for the chorus variation. Now the last bit that we need to learn is simply the outro, which is really nice and easy. So all you need to do is bar the first and second strings with your index finger on the 5th fret relative to the capo. You pluck the first and second string, then with your middle finger you'll put that on the 6th fret of the second string, and then you'll hammer on to the 8th fret with your pinky on the second string. So all together. And you play that 4 times. And that's it for the outro, which is really nice and easy. So those are all the parts for the solo fingerpicked version of the Game of Thrones theme song. I'm now going to play the full thing at 100% speed, so play along and see how you go. Now if you want any clarification on anything, They just go back to the 75% playthroughs for each section, which should break it down a bit more. Also, there's a link down below to the actual tab, so go check it out there as well. So that's it for the solo finger-picked version of Game of Thrones. If you want to learn how to play the Boyce Avenue version of this theme song, then just click the link here. Be sure to head over to GuitarZero2Hero to pick up my free guitar ebook. Also be sure to check out the GuitarZero2Hero web store. There's a bunch of awesome guitar merch, perfect gifts for guitarists out there. If you've enjoyed this video and you want to see more in the future, then please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, leave your thoughts, comments and questions below, and I'll see you next time on GuitarZero2Hero. Cheers.